Hello, this is Carson Cook, your CSO Pro, and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our future uploads. Enjoy the video.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to the CSO Pro again. My name is Carson Cook, and today we're going to be talking about a very important step to the sale, or part of the sales process. This also, guys, is such an important step that a lot of young sales professionals, even older sales professionals, completely forget this. Really weird reason why they do, but it's because I would say the basis of communication. It's kind of an intrusive part to the sale, and that's asking for business, or at least asking how you're doing, or and what this is called, guys, is this is either called the trial close or the green light step. One of the most important steps to any sales process out there is the green light or the trial close. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, guys, the green light and the trial close. We're going to be talking about what is a green light, what is a trial close. Number two, we're going to be talking about when to ask. So when do you ask your client the green light question? When do you ask your client about the trial close? And then also, how do you ask? So how do you actually engage this question? And there's this very specific way to do it so that you're not being an asshole, I guess, essentially. You're not being intrusive. You're not sounding rude. You know, no one likes a sales professional that walks into a sale or deals with a client and says, hey, are you going to buy this or not, right? You're not going to ask like that. No one asks like that. It's a very intrusive way of asking, so we'll talk about that too. So first off, what is a green light question? What is this step of the sale that's the green light, or what's the trial close? So when you deal with your client, you take them through a process, and at some point, there are going to be little parts of the green light question or the trial close within your sales process. And you want to look at this as a temperature gauge, as a way of your client telling you how you're doing, or if there's a possibility that you're going to be able to earn their business, okay? And part of the steps of the sale that we train on, we train heavily on stating the agenda, or giving the prelude to the situation, right? The customer needs to know what's going to happen during their interaction. It's like a board meeting without an objective. We have lots of videos on that. Just click on the link below for the stating the agenda video, a very important step. But in that, there's a green light statement. And very early on in the sale, where we say that if your party is happy, if your firm's happy, if you as a client is happy, and our firm's happy, and our client's happy, and we have a proposal on the table, and you're both happy and successful on both sides, then we'll go ahead and we will set you up with that particular program. How does that sound? Now, that's not a green light, but that's like a green light statement. And if the customer says, that sounds great, that's giving you the authority, or the ability, the customer's giving you the ability to move forward. That sounds like, yes, you're very professional, I like your firm, I like your product, I like your company, I don't know much about you yet, but continue on with your process. That sounds good. Now, in the back of their mind, your customer, okay, they know that you're gonna be going for a green light. They're gonna know that you know, when you say, hey, let's just do business, they're not gonna say, oh, wow, what, you never said we were going to do this today, or you never said we were going to do this week, or I'm not going to say yes to this, because you already said that in the agenda. But then when you go through the process and you finally arrive upon the presentation, okay, you never want to give a presentation or the full presentation to someone that's not going to be willing to buy from you. So the green light question and the trial close will always, guys, always come before the full-blown presentation. Always. Okay, and that's to say that if I present you with the product and I fit the needs of your firm, I find you the car of your dreams, or whatever it happens to be, if I find you the house that we're looking for, if I find your firm the corporate building that we're looking for, if I find your company the airplane that is perfect for you and your budget, I need to know that if I have the confidence and the ability, can I earn your business? Is that a yes or is that a no? And if they say yes, that's the green light to say, well, let me show you what I have. Let me show you what I got. So just make sure, guys, that that's when you ask. Okay, that's number two. That's when you ask for the green light, is before the full-blown presentation. So if you've asked for the green light and your customer says, no, I'm not doing it, you haven't done enough job building up value in your process, not in your product. You're going to build up value in your product, but they don't respect the process, and you need to make sure that they understand the process. You need to make sure that every department understands the process. Every person involved in your sale that will come to the final decision needs to be aware and have respect for that process, so that when you go to the person that's going to be making the decision, or the group that's going to be making the decision, okay, that you give that trial close to them and they say, yes, let's move forward. What do you have? Show me what you have. Okay, when you present that, then you build up tons of value within the product. You meet all the objections. And then you can always circle back around with, you know, hey, at one point in the sale, you did tell me, the firm did confirm that I have the opportunity in your business. If you present something correctly, right? And they say yes. So if you said yes to that, what am I missing here? Okay, if you get that objection, we're not going to do business today, or we don't want to do business at all. Okay, there's a question of doing it today, in 1 week, in 1 day, or in 1 hour, okay, or never doing business at all. So I need to know as a sales professional, are we going to do business? Yes or no? Like, not now, but period. Like, is there a possibility? They say yes. So then what do I need to prove to make sure that we can make that yes concrete, real, and have a date and a time where I can come back and I can set you up with this, because I know it's going to help you out. Another question is, guys, is how to ask. Now, there's a few ways to ask where you can put a timeline on the way you ask. So if I say, if we can do this and I present you with the right deal, can we do business today? Okay, that puts a timestamp on your question. Another way to ask is, say, if I put this all together for you, do we have the ability to do business? There's no timestamp. So a customer's going to more likely say yes to that because they're not held to a time. They're not held to a time. They're not held to a commitment. Now, there's a reason you know these different green light questions and how severe you can be, right? So when you ask, you can ask very lightly, so that's not intrusive. Let me ask you this, John. If we put this together for you, let me ask you this. I mean, we talked about your dog, your cat, your fish. We talked about your business, and then we presented you with this deal, and we went through all the thing. We talked with the department, and let me ask you this. I mean, if we can present you guys or your department with that, with the best solution, would you work with us? Very non-intrusive. Now, same thing. Hey, John, now let me ask you this. If I put this together for you right now, okay, will you do business right now? Will you sign the paperwork? Will you sign on the dotted line? Okay, now that's the same question, but one is more aggressive and intrusive than the other. Okay, when we have a customer that might push back as a sales professional, might push you into a corner, you might need to push them the hell out of the corner. Get the hell out of here. Let me ask you this. You want the best deal? You've hammered me so hard for the best deal, for the best price for this. I need to know right now, if I give you that price, you're signing right now. Yes or no? Okay? That's gonna back them off. Now, if you do that to a customer that's going along with your process, they're not obeying, but they're working with you to achieve a common solution or a goal, and to help you get your product in there to help benefit them, and help allow you to do your job as a sales professional, you don't need to be rude. You don't need to ask that way. You don't need to push them that hard. You can say, well, let me ask you this. As friends, I'm going to put my arm around your shoulder. Let's do business. What do you think? And they're going to say, sure, Carson, let's do it. So that's how you ask. You need to realize and judge and gauge, okay, the way that you ask for your green light in every different custom situation when you're dealing with your client, the department, the board, whoever you're pitching to. Okay, but the most important part about the green light and the trial close, period, is that you have to do it. I have heard so many sales processes, recordings, sales professionals that will go through a whole process and never ask for the green light. Or they will give a presentation, and when you give your presentation before asking for a green light, you hope that it'll be so good that it's gonna sell the deal without a commitment. So we have 10 sales professionals that come into a room of a board of directors that sit there and they have to go through 10 sales processes. The only ones that really make a difference, the only ones that really sell their product out of the 10, they've sat there for 5 hours listening to 5 sales guys on the same product. Okay? The only one that really sells the deal is the one that goes through a solid introduction, a process, and then what they do at the very end of that process, okay, is they ask them, they say, hey, if I present this to you and it's a great presentation, I need to know that I have the confidence of earning each one of yours vote and we can earn your business. Is that fair? Yes, 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 yes. Boom. Then they give the presentation. That's different. That's the guy that's different in that board meeting and in that process. So you have to remember always, do not forget to ask for business. Do not forget to give a presentation after your green light, not before. You find out how you're doing. You get a commitment from your customer before you give your grand presentation. Get the green light and get the trial close. Like we said, guys, do not forget that. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you again.